Hey everybody, Dan and Dave here again. Today we're going to be talking about pre-trips of tractor and trailers. Actually, Dan is going to be our star of the show and doing the pre-trips. So Dan, what's the main reasons that we actually do pre-trips on this equipment?
Yeah, first reason is it's required by the DOT. It's the law. We have to do a pre-trip. Second reason, obviously, these tractors are going up and down the road a lot. A lot of these tractors are dual use. We're hitting bumpy roads. There's a lot of different weather we go through. You just want to make sure that, you're going to find something. If it's loose, if it's leaking, you're going to find it before you leave the building.
Right. I mean, it's basically a preventative maintenance.
Right.
We are trying to avoid the breakdowns on road, try to catch things before we leave the lot. We get out on the road and we get stuck on the shoulder with being broke down. That's not somewhere where the driver, it's just not safe out there.
That's right. That's right. And the pre-trip is very extensive. It covers the electrical systems, the brake components, engine components, all your legal paperwork and documentation that we need in the cab, and it's there to keep us safe and to give us the peace of mind that we need going down the road.
Right. And and it's our responsibility as drivers. We are responsible for doing the pre-trip. We're responsible for the equipment being all in working order whenever it leaves here.
Right.
While it's on the road, and by the time we get back, we're still responsible for anything that's needs to be repaired after that.
That's right.
Okay, everybody. Well, here we go. Let's see the expert do the pre-trip.
All right. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to visually inspect the tractor as I'm walking up. I'm going to make sure that I don't see anything leaking as I walk up to the tractor. My first visual inspection. I'm going to go ahead and open the door. First thing I'm going to do, check my FHWA, make sure that's current. I'm going to make sure that I've got a fully charged fire extinguisher. I'm going to go ahead and use 3 points of contact, get in the tractor. I'm going to turn on all my lights and my flashers. I'm going to go ahead and get back out of the tractor. Okay, when I get out, check my IFTA sticker, make sure it's good. All my stickers, I'm going to go ahead and check my fuel. Make sure I've got fuel. While I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and unlatch the hood, check my mirror, make sure it's secure, checking my lights as they come around. I'm just going to scan and make sure all my lights are on. I'm going to go ahead and grab my fender mirror, make sure it's secure, then I'm going to work my way around to the driver's side of the tractor. I'm going to grab my fairing, make sure it's secure, my handrail, make sure it's secure, checking my light cords and my hoses, visually inspecting them, making sure there's no damage. Check my def tank, make sure that's right. Here I'm going to go ahead and give my air tank a drain. Check my mud flap. I'm going to go ahead and grab my pin puller here, give my tire a couple thumps. Here, I'm going to go ahead and check my tire, check my lug nuts, make sure there's no rust on the lug nuts that would indicate anything's loose. We got a metal valve stem, metal cap. Come right here, I'm going to check my mud flap and the cotter pin. While I'm here, I'm going to look to make sure there's nothing in between the tires that would cause any damage. From here, I'm going to look at all the suspension system here, make sure everything is good, no leaks in the airbags. Step back, check my latch, my cotter pin, make sure everything is secure. I'm going to visually inspect my fifth wheel. Come over here, same thing. Look at my suspension, my airbags, make sure everything is in good condition. Check my mud flap and my pin. Give these tires a couple good thumps. Look for any damage in the tread. Nothing in between the tires that would cause damage. Checking my lug nuts, making sure there's no rust that would make it look like it was loose. Metal valve stem, metal cap. Mud flap is secure. I'm going to check my battery box, make sure it's secure. My exhaust system, I'm going to make sure that's secure and not loose. Check my fairing. My IFTA sticker is current. checking my DOT stickers. From here, I'm gonna go ahead and open the door. Check my triangles. They are in. Shut the door. I'm gonna make sure my mirror is secure. And I'll go ahead and unlatch my hood. From here, I'm gonna lift the hood with my legs. All right, I'm gonna thump my tire. Make sure that's good. Go ahead and grab a hold of it. Give it a good tug. Visually inspect the inside to make sure there's no oil leaking. I'm gonna scan my way up, making sure I don't see anything loose or missing. Check my coolant level, make sure that's good. Come back down. I'm gonna go ahead and check my lug nuts, make sure all those are tight. There's no rust around the lug nuts that would indicate anything being loose. Checking my hub oil level. I've got a clear window. I can see that there is oil in there. If you're working at night, you can put your flashlight up there. You'll be able to see it. If not, you can pop the cap off. Got a metal valve stem and a metal cap. Work my way around. All right, I'm gonna come around here. Give the driver's side tire a thump. Give it a good pull. Make sure nothing's loose. Visually inspect the inside to make sure nothing's leaking. Come down here, check my lug nuts. Look for rust around the lug nuts that would indicate anything being loose. Check my hub oil level. I can see there's oil in the hub. Like I said, you can use your flashlight if you need to or pop the cap off. I got a metal valve stem, metal cap. I'm gonna come up here, check my steering shaft, steering box, make sure everything is in good condition. Fuel filter, my brake fluid, windshield washer fluid. Check my oil. That's good. Put that away. And I'm going to reach down in here, check the tension of my belts, and that's all. Come back around and get my safety latch from my hood. Release that. Close it up. All right, now I'm going to get back in the tractor. I'm going to shut my hazard lights off. I'm going to put my hand valve down, turn my brights on, check the high beams. High beams are on. And my brake lights are on. Okay, now let's get in the tractor. Okay, I'm gonna enter the tractor using 3 points of contact. Grab my steering wheel, pull myself in. Keys out of my pocket. Okay, I'm gonna turn my key on. I'm gonna push in my parking brake, and now I'm going to do my fan down brake test. Okay, brake pops out when it's supposed to. I'm going to go ahead and start the tractor, and I'm going to build my air pressure. While I'm building my air pressure, I'm going to go ahead and reach down here. I'm going to grab my book. I'm going to go through it, make sure I've got all of my necessary paperwork. Insurance, okay. Put that back. Now, all right, while I'm building the air, checking the play in my steering wheel, honking my horn, make sure that works. I'm going to check my tension and condition of my wipers and make sure my fluid's working. Shut that off. I'm going to come over here, check my HVAC, my defrost, and my floor. shut that off. My air pressure is built back up. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and do a test tug. Brakes are working. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull forward 2 feet, test my brakes there.
All right, Dan, so here we are, and you got her snapped together. So this is going to be a little bit different because your set's already built. So let's just see what the actual pre-trip looks like with a set that's already built.
Okay, gotcha. All right, first thing I'm going to do when I get out after I've hooked up is I'm going to go ahead and check my coupling. I'm going to look under there, make sure the bolt's flush. Look at my handle, check it. Get underneath and check my coupling. Come up here. I go ahead and check my FHWA and make sure it's current. And then for me, some guys are short, so for me, I get up on the deck plate. Use 3 points of contact, get up on the deck plate. I'm always going to keep the hoses to my left side.
Why is that?
I just want to make sure I don't trip when I come down off the tractor. I want to make sure I don't have anything to trip on. All right, get my hoses, everything's secure, grab my handle, come down. I'm gonna go ahead and come back here, crank my legs up, and then listen, for me, everybody does it different. Some people go down this side, some people go around. From this point, I go ahead and get back in the tractor, I supply my air, make sure my lights are on, my hand valve's down, and I work my way around the other side of the tractor.
Okay.
We've already pre-tripped our tractor. There's no need to thump any tractor tires or anything like that, but I always do kind of just take a visual inspection of everything still. Come up here, I'm gonna open the box, I'm gonna make sure my paperwork is in the trailer. I'm gonna visually scan the skins of the trailer to make sure there's no damage. Coming down here, take a visual inspection of the underside of the trailer. Get under here, make sure there's no debris between my tires. Check my brake chambers, my suspension, my springs, my spring hangers. Make sure everything looks good. Go ahead and thump my tires good. Check that. I'm gonna get down here and I'm gonna check my lug nuts here. Make sure there's no rustless that would indicate any looseness. Metal valve stem, metal cap. Mud flap is good. Light's good. My chain is on. At this point, I'm going to check my paperwork for my trailers to make sure my seal numbers and my trailer numbers all match. So 306 737 is here. My seal number matches. Okay. And then at this point, I'm checking my chains, my air lines. I've got a little bit of a leak right there. Got that stopped. I'm checking my chains, my air lines, make sure there's no cuts or bulges in my air lines, my light cord, making sure my thumper's out, my pin is in place. I always say to myself, just as a reminder for myself, is just chains, air hose, lights, thumper, pin. And that's kind of a personal checklist that I have. From here, I check the handle of my dolly. Forks are through. Check my paperwork. Nothing between my duals. Dump my tires. Get down, look at my dolly wheels. Look at the lug nuts, make sure they're in good condition. Check the hub oil level. That's good. Mud flap. Get underneath. Check my coupling. While I'm here, I look at the springs, the spring hangers. Make sure that's all in good condition. Come out. Everything's secure. Look at the skins of the trailer. Make sure there's no damage. Visually inspect as I'm walking back. Get underneath. Make sure there's nothing between the duals, brake chambers, spring hangers. Everything looks good. Pump my tires. Checking my lug nuts. Hub oil level is good. Metal valve stem, metal cap. Mud flaps good. Lights. Come back here. Same thing. Now's the time I'm going to check the paperwork for my rear trailer. 306-593. Matches my seal. Check the seal number, and that matches. Check my lights, make sure I see those. Step back. My brake lights are working. I'm going to check, make sure air is coming through the back of the trailer. Visually inspect my hose. Pin is in place. During the daytime, it's hard to see, but my license plate light is on. License plate is secure. Come around here. Visually inspect the side, make sure there's no damage. I thump my tires. Get down, check my lug nuts. Check my hub oil level, metal valve stem, metal cap. Drain my air tank. Check underneath my tires, make sure there's nothing between the duals. Visually inspect everything from this side. Everything looks good. I always get underneath. I double check all my couplings. Just gives me good peace of mind when I go down the road. My mud flap is secure on my dolly. Get down here, check the lug nuts, check all the components, metal valve stem, hub oil level is good. Thump these tires, look for anything between the duals, nothing there. I check my hoses here, visually inspect them to make sure there's no bubbles. Check my FHWA on this trailer. Lights secure, come down, and also for my own peace of mind, I always check it the same way, just from a different angle to make sure I didn't miss anything before. I just say to myself, change chains, air hose, lights, thumper, pin. Okay, move on. Mud flap is secure. Look at the trailer, look at the skin. Everything looks good. Thump my tires. Check my lug nuts and my hub oil level. Drain my air. Get down here, and there's nothing in between the duals that would cause any damage. Checking my brake chambers, my spring hangers again. Come back around. And that's how we do a pre-trip of your set.
That looks pretty good. I got one question here at the end. I noticed that you're hitting those tires pretty hard.
Yep.
What's the reasoning behind thumping those tires with a tire thumper and hitting them pretty hard?
Yeah, you're just not going to be able to find every flat tire, every low tire, kicking it with the heel of your shoe. Right. So it's just good to give them a good solid thump every time.
Yeah, and pretty much you can tell when something's either 30, 40, even
Right.
50 pounds difference.
Right, that's right.
All right, there you go, everybody. There's Dan's pre-trip. I would say he's close to being an expert.